Even by Mother Nature's standards, it was unique.
They were bracing for a storm, but faced this instead. We've got a tornado! A ferocious vortex of wind, rain and ice, dubbed a hailnado.
Extremely violent supercells have cut a path of destruction across a vast area of southern Queensland.
Just massive. I've never ever seen anything like this before. Trees just stripped, ice, hail, absolutely everywhere.
Birds even stripped of their feathers, hail the size of tennis balls. A system so severe, forecasters took the rare step of issuing this emergency alert. In Gympie, this was the sound of people in its path.
I've been through plenty of cyclones, but that storm was probably the worst that I've seen.
A severe thunderstorm warning was in place, but nothing could have prepared residents for this.
Please hold, Jim.
The sound of rushing water is drowned out by helicopters sent from Israel.
Flash floods on Thursday have resulted in what authorities are calling one of the worst natural disasters to hit Jordan in years.
A rescue operation is underway and at least 11 people, all seriously injured, have been found so far. Search teams are looking for 16 people who are still missing.
Jordan has experienced heavy rains this week. Witnesses say the children were visiting popular hot springs inland from the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is the lowest point on Earth and prone to deadly floods.
All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises to Yahawah WA Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and never that great milestone. Salutations to you brothers out there doing the work in truth and in sincerity. Now, the reason for the clip is these clips from the channel Jason A. It's just so you can get a visual of what's actually going on. There's a media blackout when it comes to anything that has anything to do with natural disasters. All right, and the gist of this lesson is a counter to the claims of climate change. That's not the deal. Okay, Esau wants to write off the judgment and the destruction from the Lord as climate change, so the God particle can basically, or the God part of the judgment can cease from people's minds. It's an elaborate, deceptive way of saying that the world is going to shit. The world is at an end, while the so-called white man prepares himself for the Lord's second coming, which he knows is going to happen. But it's a deliberate lie. Climate change is nothing more than the judgment and the scourges sent as amendments from the Most High to the people on earth, because the Lord said he was going to judge the earth. Okay. And we read Isaiah 24, you read various scriptures that explain that, and I got 2 Ezra 16 here to basically, consume this devil with the words of the heavenly scriptures, and Salakia, try to get right to it. Okay, because it ain't climate change, man. It is the Lord's judgment. And for some time now, I keep seeing that. I seen it a long time ago, and they keep talking about climate change in the media, and that's a bunch of bull, So this is 2 Ezra 16:1. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria." All right. Now we know the so-called white men are the main leaders of the world, and all the other nations fall up under him. but he's the main culprit of this world. Oh, the leader of the world. He's the main culprit of the wickedness in the world that's being perpetuated and being pushed on a high level. All right. So this is ultimately talking about Esau, Edom. All right, because they have the spirit of Babylon. All right, they have the spirit of all these different empires. Okay. Verse 2, it says, gird up yourselves with sackcloth, with cloths of sack and hair, bewail your children. Slack it. All right, so Salaki, it says, bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. And how much more evident is that now in the times that we live in? A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood? Okay, because that's what these hurricanes and all these natural disasters, quote unquote, they are likened to a hungry lion in the wood, because those hurricanes are moved by entities. All right, spiritual entities, angels to be exact. Okay, and I'll get the scripture to prove that. All right. In fact, I'll get it now. So I'll just finish the verse. It says, all right, so this is Sirach 39. I'm going to hit the points, but it's actually a good chapter. You know, I really want to bring out the scripture. I really do, but I'm going to get to the points because I'm at work. And yeah, so I'll get to the point. All right. In fact, you know what? Never mind. I'll try to draw it out for you brothers, man. This is a Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 39 and 20. He seeth from everlasting to everlasting, and there is nothing wonderful before him. A man need not to say, what is this? Wherefore is that? For he hath made all things for their uses. Okay. So pretty much people shouldn't be, astonished about the things that's going on, even when it comes to, all things in life, man, from the food we eat to the things that we see that naturally occur. We shouldn't be questioning it, But the so-called white man has removed God from people's minds, and now you got people questioning it with the very deceptive of climate change, amongst other things. All right, like homosexuality. Like, people shouldn't have to wonder if that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing, and it just goes to show you that the so-called white man is not doing his job. Well, he never could do his job. He's the wicked that the Most High has set up for destruction. All right. And that's why we see the so-called white man flourishing the way he does, because we're going to know the exact, we're going to have the understanding of evil, and we're going to have the very understanding of good. All right. Because it's a duality. And actually, that's what this chapter, briefly talks about. It says his blessing covered the dry land as a river, and watered it as a flood. As he had turned the waters into saltness, so shall the heathen inherit his wrath. You see that? As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. You see? So when we talk about not being a homosexual, it's a stumbling block unto them. We know why we shouldn't be into that lifestyle, these lifestyles, promiscuous, being women being out there and open about their sexuality and uncovering their skin. Because why? These things breed evil things, man. All right. Especially being a homosexual, you kill the whole community allowing homosexuals to dwell within that community. All right. And also the women, if the women don't respect themselves and respect the men to be the leader and the provider and protector, and they hold on to discretion, the woman being exact, then you're going to find yourself in a type of culture where men are violent to women. All right, because they're teasing them. Okay, so Salakia, it says for the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. All right, and that's why you see these things, these natural disasters happen. But like I said, these are entities pushing these natural disasters, quote unquote. It says the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour, wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, which we use to get drunk or, get a little intoxicated because that's allowed, and oil and clothing. All right. Hey, but have not the so-called white man exploited these things and used haven't taken he hasn't took advantage of these things for their rightful uses. He's looked over these things, okay, and haven't appreciated these things. And he's destroying the water. He's destroying the honey, destroying the bees with his Wi-Fi. He's destroying everything. He's the milk. We don't even drink the right milk. We drink milk from cows and not from, the human beings or women, 27, it says, all these things are for good to the godly. You see, so to the sinner, they are turned into evil. Okay. And that's why, for the most part, a lot of you people eating GMOs, genetically modified food. You're drinking water with fluoride in it. Okay. It's because these things are turned into evil for you, man. All right. But the prophets, we're gonna basically through the Lord's miraculous works, get through these things, man. All right. There be spirits, and here's the point, that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. Okay, and that's why we're seeing these things heighten, seeing the natural disasters heighten. We're seeing people dismayed because they never seen anything to this scale. All right, so it says lay on sore strokes, and those are sore strokes, man. No pun intended. You see a golf ball size hailstone come and hit you in the head, you bleeding. That's a sore stroke, man. It says in the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire, hail, famine, and death, all these were created for vengeance. So you telling me the so-called white man has got people believing these it's climate change, and the polar caps are freezing over, or not freezing over, but melting, and that's why these disasters are taking place, man. He's a liar, man. All right, Esau Edom is a liar, man. The so-called white man is a liar. All right, and he's having people believe that this climate change, instead of coming out and saying, hey, this is the vengeance of the Lord, which he's not going to say. All right. It says teeth of wild beasts, the scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment. What is commandment? These things, these scourges are sent for amendments. As the scripture said, when I was just in 2 Ezra 16 and 19, which I'm going to read again. It says, they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And how much more needful is it now? Because the Lord is speeding up the time. All right. Therefore, the destruction is coming vastly. It's coming very fast. It's coming unexpected. It says when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. All right. And they seek and destroy everything that the Lord commanded them to do. All right. Therefore, from the beginning, I was resolved and thought upon these things and have left them in writing. All right. Because the Most High gave us straight commandments how to live. OK. And the so-called white man has deviated from that and showed the rest of the world to be wicked. And what is the repercussion of that? Destruction. All right. But this is the point, and I'm going to close out on here. This is 2 Ezra 16:19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. All right. So these are commandments of the Most High, the scourges. All right. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. All right. So they're not mindful of the scourges because guess what? You got Esau in the background talking about climate change. All right. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even then shall evils go upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, which we're going to see the great confusion with these generated crises. All right. And the rise of the mark of the beast. OK, which everybody in the world is going to be subject to getting. And if you don't get it, well, you can just, pretty much kiss this world goodbye, which the elect have already kissed this world goodbye. All right. Our ways are mortified in this life. All right. We have no part in this life. OK. It says, Salaki, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. All right, and there shall be no man left to till the earth, and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? All right, because the Lord is displeased with the world, man. He's going to judge the world. Okay, I did say that was the last scripture. All right. 2 Ezra 15:14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, with the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right. And it's talking about more of the martial law, more race riots. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing these things culminate and come to fruition and manifest themselves before our eyes. And with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahawah. It is more to the scripture, man. Brothers, repetition we always read through. But hey, Shalom, I'm gonna cut the lesson right there. We give all praise to Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi by Hashem Kakodash Brakathum. Double honors to the apostles and that was that great millstone Brakathum. Shalom to you, Akim. Shalom.